Obviously an exciting day for our basketball team and I've said before I'm biased, but I think it's the world's, greatest tournament. For our guys to have a chance to participate in it, we feel very blessed. They've worked very, very hard. They've had that goal from the very beginning when I met with them and really solidified that as something that they wanted to do in the fall when we first got together, as I talked in particular to our seniors, and to see that come to fruition in a way in which they had to grind it out and be really tough at different parts of the season when maybe others doubted them. I think is a great life lesson for our guys, and I'm really certainly not satisfied because we have work to do, but gratified a little bit for those guys. Those guys are excited. Obviously, we've got a lot to do here this evening to learn as much as we can about Colorado. I know that the director of athletics that I work for at Ohio, Jim Schaus, has had a chance to spend some time with Tab Boyle when he was an assistant at Wichita State, and really thought very highly of him as a coach. I know he did a great job at Northern Colorado, led to him getting the Colorado job. Those teams are known for rebounding. They've got a kid on their team that averages double-figure rebounds. They're well-balanced. They have 5 guys that average between 9 points per game and double figures. They're great at getting to the foul line. So obviously we're going to have to play hard without fouling. And it'll be a challenge. I think when I think of their teams, I think of discipline. I think of defending. They're rated top 30 in the country defensively. So it's going to be a great challenge, but one that we're looking forward to start preparing here this evening and get together with them tomorrow and put together a game plan that gives us a chance to, compete on Friday. Questions?
When you met these guys for the first time, were you taken aback at all by the fact that they still had this goal even with everything they had gone through?
Nah, because we have some competitive guys, Marcus. I thought our guys did a great job throughout the majority of the year, kind of carrying that chip. I thought that, again, I mentioned the stretch there where we started early Big Ten play and didn't play particularly well, and they continued to stay the course and believe in themselves and believe in one another and believe in the system and believe that they could still get to this point where they had an opportunity to play in this type of game on Friday. I think speaks volume about their character.
What did that do for you when the first time you talked to these guys and that's what they want? Did that kind of get you a little excited, even more excited about being here than you already were?
Oh, sure. I did. We talked a lot about a lot of different things over a period of time there in the spring when I got the job, in the summer, and as we continued to get to know one another better, and those guys wanted to have an opportunity. You can't obviously have no chance to advance in the tournament unless you're in the tournament. So I've said that before. They understand that, and to have a chance and an opportunity like we have on Friday, and it's going to be challenging. Obviously they're good, but every team that's in the tournament's in the tournament for a reason. But we're excited. I'm happy for them.
Were you surprised at the number 7 seed, or was that always a thought?
Nah, I mean, I'll be honest with you. Until the last 24 hours, I didn't even think about who seeding, where. Once you get done playing like we did, then I listened to my encyclopedia Burson over here give me different thoughts and statistics and ideas and all those different things. But at that point, I'm one of those guys. What I did honestly is I went recruiting last night. I got up this morning, got a cup of coffee, went out to church, ate lunch with my kids, spent as much time with them as I could because I haven't done that on a Sunday in a while. We played a lot of Sunday games, and usually I'm thinking about the next game. And today at lunch, for the first time, I didn't know who the next game was. So that was pretty cool. I enjoyed that time, and then obviously we got a chance to hang out here as a team and watch the selection show. And now it's time to get back to work, and all the prognosticators and predictions and all those things they're out the window now. Now it's time to play. You know who you're playing, and you've got to prepare, and you've got to play well.
Do you have any connection with the Colorado staff apart from the AD?
No, do not.
Do you plan to talk to Sean Miller this week if he has time to take your call?
For us, like we have rules in our league. I don't know if what their rule is. I'm assuming it's the same. Sean and I talk frequently anyway. maybe a few thoughts here or there, within what they're able to do and what we're allowed to do.
Your assistants gather things on a number of different teams.
Sure. Yeah, those guys, with the help of Derek, I didn't want to hear about it or talk about it, kind of behind the scenes, had at least a rough idea of, hey, here's the options, here's what we're hearing, and we tape, every game that's on television, basically. I have a great video staff. Brandon Miller heads up a lot of our advanced scouting and video work. Andy Etheridge does a lot, our GA. And then we have, we're blessed here at Illinois that we have some student workers, some video workers that come in the office, tape games. They've been doing it all year. So I just asked them how many do we have on Colorado, and they said a lot. So that's good. So when I get back to the office, we'll have a chance to watch some of that.
Can you kind of sum up your feelings personally about coming in here the first year and making the tournament? What kind of year it's been for you personally?
Well, it's been fun because, the thing for me is the deal's not about me. It's about those guys that have been through a lot, that are on this team, in particular our seniors, have an opportunity and something. They get to do something that they strive to do that's not easy to do. Not everybody gets a chance to play in the NCAA tournament, to participate in it. It was important to those guys. So I think the most gratification I get out of it is the fact that our staff helped them get what they wanted, if that makes any sense. And so that part's pretty neat when you can help others do something special and something that they want to do, something that's a goal for them or a dream for them. That's, to be honest, that's kind of why you're in the business.
Do you have a rough idea of the timeline leading up to the game on Friday?
Oh, sure. Yeah, I've been the luckiest guy in the world in terms of, experience with the tournament as both an assistant and head coach. And as soon as I get out of here, we'll sit down and I'll scratch, on a piece of paper, and then I'll have our ops guy type it up exactly what I want, when I want to practice, when I want to leave, with it being very detailed.
Coach Izzo says he's just happy not to play a Big Ten team.
Yeah, I saw that.
Out of the grinder of,
yeah.
You think it's prepared to the last 20 games?
We hope so. I've seen a lot of different styles, a lot of great environments, a lot of great basketball teams, coached against a lot of really good coaches. I think our schedule's prepared us, to have seen about everything that you can see. So we're blessed in that way. But I can see where he would say that. It's and one thing about the coaching's so good, and guys take things away. I mean, everybody knows each other's tendencies. I've said, Jim, so many times, familiarity breeds content, and it's hard to get easy baskets. It's hard to get easy baskets against any team that's good defensively, but I think when you play them 1, 2, 3 times, it's even more difficult.
John, what do you think could make your team dangerous this weekend and going forward?
Obviously the biggest thing we've got to do at this point is put 2 halves together on both ends of the floor. Are we capable of doing that? Yes, we have done that, and that's going to be the goal, to find that this week, to where we can defend like we did in the first half against Indiana and have the offense like we did in the second half against Indiana, and see if there's a way in which we can be consistent on both ends of the floor, both halves. That's what everybody's trying to do this time of year. I do think that we have, a team that has the capability of being explosive offensively with shot making, because we've got several guys that can do that. That's always dangerous this time of year. So I think that's certainly something that's, to our advantage. But a lot of times in tournament basketball, when you're playing against really good teams, Jeremy, at the end of the day, you have to execute, both half-court man offense and defense. You're not going to get a plethora of easy baskets against, these teams that are in the NCAA tournament. They're too good.
Coach Groce, through your experiences, what do you feel is the key to preparing your team for this tournament?
Some of the same things I said last week, keeping them physically loose, mentally focused, confident, fine-tune a few things, being adaptable with schedule. We'll find out tonight what the tip-off time of the game is. Could be morning, could be afternoon, could be night. I mean, we don't know. You got to be adaptable. You got to be able to make adjustments, I think. I think that's important, and I think you got to be tough. You got to be tough. At the end of there comes a point in time in every game, I think, in tournament games, where toughness is really required at a high level. And that team that's able to ratchet it up, especially on the mental side of that toughness equation, oftentimes has a big advantage. So I think toughness is also a part of it at tournament time.
What was the scene? What was the scene like in the room?
Guys were excited, happy. But we talked earlier today when we worked out. We felt like obviously going into the selection show that we had a pretty good feeling that we were going to be in the tournament. Now it's up to us to make the most of it. And I told our guys that there's nothing like being in the tournament, other than advancing in the tournament. So. I know they're going to work really hard this week and want to put their best foot forward on Friday.
John, you had a couple of times this year where you played games in 2-3 day stretches. Does that help you prepare for now going?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, sure. That and we've got an older team, where that you're alluding to Maui or the Big Ten tournament, or, I think, that fact that we're older as well allows us to be, more adaptable, a little bit more poised. So those are good things.
Number of seniors you have, are you less concerned with an exhale of just getting in, that these are guys that this is their last year?
Yeah, but, obviously you can't think that way, John. If you think that way, I mean, that's not a good recipe for success. So, at this point in time, a lot of it is, that's what I mean by toughness. You got to be tough. You got to have a desire to prepare, a will to prepare, an ability to be able to focus and execute a game plan. At the same time, the ability to have the confidence while you're out there to make plays. And, I think we've got some guys that are obviously older, as you alluded to. I think that's going to be helpful.
John, you talked so much about next game, next practice, but you did have them wear the bracelets all year. And
yeah.
How much was that one goal, the goal all year?
Well, I mean, it was, I told them, Lord willing, I'd have an opportunity to be back next year. And that for the seniors, this is it for them. So it's their team. We're here to help them and be a conduit to, help them get what they want out of the experience. I think it's a coach's job, and we certainly see it this way, to know what each guy's hopes and dreams are, not only for our team, but individually, past college and while they're here, and to help them try to get there. I mean, that's kind of what coaching is. So understanding what they wanted, and it certainly was so to speak, the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, Jim. But I asked them to trust me and not to stare at that pot of gold, that we had to stare each step and each thing that we faced. We had to man up and face each thing, adversity, success, and it was going to be a part of the journey. And if we did that the right way, and we played a 40-minute season or a 40-minute game, that our chances of doing what they wanted to do would increase dramatically, rather than just focusing strictly on that. And I think the guys really, bought into that. A lot of it's because we have good leadership. We have older guys. And, I've said all year, I can't thank them enough for how open-minded they've been with our staff and how willing they've been to listen, how coachable they've been. And it's their team.
Do you know anything about Colorado's system or Tad Boyle's history?
Not detailed right now, Rob, until I get a chance to watch film tonight. I've seen him play a handful of times on TV briefly, never in a full game, just because we're always caught up in doing what we're doing. But, I just know that from a reputation perspective, in terms of them defending, them rebounding, they've got a very well-balanced scoring team. So, they come from a great league. Those are all things that I do know about them and look forward to learning more.
Do you have any experience with the city of Austin, and do you have any seasonal allergies?
I have no seasonal allergies. Paul might. He might have to take his. Do you, Brandon? Do you have seasonal allergies? Okay, so I'm glad you tipped us off there, Rob. We'll have to help him. My wife's been to Austin a few times. She might, as I told BTN, she might wear her cowboy hat and boots, but I'll leave that for her. That's not my style.